Okay, hey guys, Kobani here with another tutorial. This one will be more of a breakdown tutorial instead of a actual like step by step. I'm trying this system because it saves time and I eliminated the part where I'm experimenting and then I kind of waste time. So let's get to it. I recently textured a character that I modeled a while back, and I just went back to it and I took the lower poly version of it and then revisited it. And then I decided to texture with some new information that I learned from another project that I worked on. You, if since the character will not be available to you guys, you can go to the algorithmic website Substance Share, and you can download a character called Matt. Basically, it's a free character that is there. It's not an actual full character, but you can use that character to learn how to texture and stuff. So I'm going to start by opening the folder if I can. Okay, to be this one. Yeah, the exports. Okay. It will take a while because this is the first time I'm opening the character on this computer. I was using my laptop. I actually recorded the whole session, but the issue was that my laptop's fan was going off and my microphone was too close to the laptop, so it picked up all the background noise that the fan was making. And I decided I don't like the audio, so I decided to just do a breakdown instead. And it seems it's taking its time to load. This is the new Substance, by the way, 2018. I've been using it for a while now, and I like it because it reminds me of Photoshop. And I like the fact that one reason I like Substance is because of algorithmics, passion for the community. They keep on updating for us and other stuff. Pixology does the same too, and Piggleway, I think, that's the 3D code, guys. You guys might not know. This was a basic texturing session. I didn't want to go into details with unnecessary stuff like inside the mouth and all that stuff. I didn't care about all that stuff. I just wanted to get a skin texture right. First, let me check my texture set. Okay, it's on 2K. I baked on 4K, but it's wise to keep it on 2K. Or if your computer can handle 4K, then props to you. Okay, so I'm going to start with firstly, I'm going to pull some stuff off my other screen and show you guys. So for now, just wait. I need to make sure. Okay, let's open a new Google Chrome and. Oh, you might hear me typing when I type because my laptop, my keyboard is kind of close to the microphone. I can't do anything about that. Oh, yeah. Also, if I pull the microphone too far, you guys might not hear me. Okay, let's see. Let's go. There we go. Okay, let me pull this onto this screen and show you guys. This is the character I was talking about, where it's Meshmat, where you can download this one. It was for a contest they did a while back, 11 months ago, I think, or 8 months, I guess. And you can download it, and it has a UV and everything laid out, and also it has that substance sphere as its head. So it's very good for practicing texturing characters, in my opinion, if you don't have your own character to practice with. And for this character, I went with frog skin, but I used frog skin as just the base, and then the rest was like me experimenting with different things to see what I can do. So I just want to show you guys that. So let's move on. And remember that this is on 2K, so that even though the height maps look very subtle over here, in 4K they come up. That's one issue I ran into, because you forget that you go to 4K in the final submission, so you start putting your stuff like your height maps too high, and then when you go into 4K everything looks too textured. Like skin has texture, but from far, if you can see the texture, then something doesn't look right, or it depends on what kind of skin texture it is actually. But yeah, and also sometimes the colors might look like they're smudging a little bit in 2K, but in 4K they'll become crisper. Sometimes you don't want that effect. One thing is that this height map I kind of turned it out to little. I'll update it later. So I just want to show you guys the character breakdown. Firstly, we start with the default stance that I usually start with, which is the bakes. If I turn off the bake, so let's turn off all the color maps so that you guys can see everything clearly. Okay, there we go. This is a character without any bakes. The only thing showing right now is with the AO, but I can't turn that off. Okay, I don't see an option to turn it off. So just this is the character, and then this is after I baked it. I get these details on top of it, and then I'm done. Granted, in my opinion, I could have modeled this character better. Details like this, I wanted to model it in ZBrush because you can use Substance to generate the texture, and it will give you more control, and also it will be easier to apply colors to it. Because right now, if I want to apply color to it, I have to paint on top of it or something. And also, you see these lines in my my render, my bake. That's because I made a mistake with the high res I chose, but I already fixed that. I just have to rebake. I don't go through the whole time again, and I'll just update it later. So I organize my files a lot, because if I don't organize, I throw myself off. The only thing I need to improve is naming my files. Like, remember to name them, because even though I know where some things are, somebody else might not know. But basically, if we were to go into this, is how I start it out. I create folders for everything that I know I'll need, and in this case I needed only 3 folders. This is the layer 1 that is created by Substance. So I create a body folder, a tank folder, and an eyes folder for this character specifically. And I usually start out with I put random colors like blue, red, or yellow on the character, not colors that I actually use. I put them as the base, and usually I don't touch that again. And then I put a mask on the folder itself, so that way anything I do under this folder will automatically apply to whatever the mask is applying to. So I don't have to worry about having to create masks for that part of the body again. Anything I do will affect that part of the mask, basically. So I assume you guys know how mask works in Photoshop. So basically I have the same thing. So let's start with the body. With the body, I did a lot of work on it, as you can see, even though I have some layers that are named. But yeah, that's my fault. I have a base mesh, a base color, where let's start from scratch. Trust me, this is faster than me like talking while I was doing it, because I experimented a lot. Basically, I start with this base color. And since it's a base color that I have nothing on, I can tweak it anytime, and the character color will change. It's one reason I like creating a base color I don't touch, because everything else will be overlaid or dodged or multiplied on top of this one. Although, because you're using layer modes, when you change the color, let's say to a green might look different with purple overlaid on top of it. So you gotta be careful with that. But basically, I start with this, and I usually use this same layer as the base roughness. So this would be like my base roughness. If I were to put roughness, you see this. And this character is an aquatic creature, so usually the roughness, I kind of put it low. Towards the 0. Then I start straight off with skin patches. I call it skin patches. They might be called something else. This is basically to add color variation to the skin, because usually skin is not one whole color. And in the reference for the rock skin, even though it was green, there were some browns in there. And to create this system, I use this base system a lot. I create a fill layer, I create a mask on it, and I put another fill layer under the mask, and I insert any noise texture I want to use. So basically, in this one, I use the fractal sum base. For noises, I'll say experiment with different noises. You get used to them the more you experiment with them. I know some of the noises that I want to use because of Substance Designer. I like creating textures in Substance Designer, so I kind of get used to what noises I want. And in my opinion, you can create skin in Substance Designer and use it to procedurally as a procedural material for every skin you create. But for this one, I wanted to work in Painter alone and show you guys. So after I create like the fractal sum base, I just go to the parameters and tweak it to like get what I want. So if I were to isolate the mask, you press Alt and click on the mask. This is what I have. And then if I go back and reveal it, I put levels on top of it. And the levels is why I used to tweak the colors. As you can see, I put some stuff around here until I got what I wanted. And then I put it on overlay. If I put it on normal, I get this. But when I put it on overlay, I get this. You can try different color modes depending on layer modes, depending on what your base color is, basically. So after I get this, I like the variation, so I'll keep it. And what I was talking about is, even though it looks purple, it looks like this. If I change to like a green, it looks different. So you gotta think about that when you're doing your overlays and stuff. And then after that, I move to the subsurface scattering. This one is not what I'll call actual subsurface scattering. It's me like trying to fake it with the layer mask. So I basically pour another color, which you can't choose any color you want, red, purple, whatever. But basically think about I usually think about the color of the character's blood or how the character's skin reacts to light penetrating a little bit. So if I were to change this to like a whitish color, you can use to fake like translucency a little bit, because frogs actually sometimes their skin is translucent. But yeah, but this one is color dodged. That's why even though it has a little purple on it, I mean white, it's acting different. And I put it on color dodge because color dodge worked best for me. And I create the same system where I create a mask, a fill, and the levels. But this time the fill has a grayscale thickness map in it. The thickness map that was big off of the character. That's a free map that right there that people tend to not use. Oh, another thing is also every time I create a fill layer, I switch it from UV projection to triplanar if it has a noise in it. But if it has these masks that are from the big, because they're already going with the UV, if you switch it to triplanar, you get something different. So I leave it on UV projection. After that, I move on to levels, where I add another levels and then tweak it to get what I want. If I tweak these levels to this way, you see I get the purple pops up way more. If I go in different directions, it gives me different results. But basically this is what this mask is doing. And that's because I inverted it. This is not how the thickness mask actually looks like. In the levels, I moved the gamma. Yeah, I tweaked it. I flipped the black and white, so that's why it looks like this. After that, I moved to AO. This one you don't have to do, by my opinion. It gives you more, because if you can see right now, look, the character looks normal. The shadows look like just shadows. But it's something I picked up from painting, because when you're painting a character, or even a character, something, usually I used to make that mistake where, if let's say I was painting something red and I needed shadow, I'll just take the red and go for a darker red and paint it into the shadows. But then if you do that, it starts looking muddy, or it just doesn't look right, because colors react differently in shadow depending on the bounce lights and everything. But with AO, you just give your shadows a little bit of a color aside from your lights, the one that the lights will be casting. And also shows like, because even your skin, because some of your skin will not be always hitting light, I mean the sunlight will not always be hitting, you get like that color variation in your skin. And one way I use AO is by doing this. So basically I put it on multiply. You can change it to any mode depending on the color you're using. If I use overlay, I get a lighter color, but I wanted to get a darker color, so I went for multiply. And also this one is just a color, has nothing on it. Usually the ones I start with colors only. I don't start with the texture until later on. And then for the AO is what it is. I have an AO in the fill, and then I put levels on it to tweak it. For this one, I think, yeah, for this one I flipped it too, so that the AO works the other way. And then I move on to texture. I put T underscore, I put underscore T to show texture. Now for the first texture is like the skin texture itself, and I looked at some frog skin and stuff, and I tried to get it as close as I want. Right now it looks very subtle because we're in 2K, but if we were to go to 4K, if I could find, this isn't the UI I usually use. I just like, I haven't used this computer in a while, like I think a week or something. So when I came out to this update to 2018, I haven't switched the UI on this one. Where is it? Oh wow, it's right here. I was on there and I forgot. Okay, there it is. In 2K, this is how it would look. But if I were to go to 4K, oh god. Okay, I think it might slow down my computer because I have some stuff running in the background on the other monitor. And I just switched to 4K. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Sometimes I forget I have stuff running and okay. It doesn't look like it's about to crash though. And also I don't know what this is. If you can see my mouse down here, it says NVIDIA GeForce drivers versions, blah blah blah. Huh. I think there might be something new with the 2018. I might have to look for it. Look at it. Wow, I really messed up with the bacon. But yeah, talk about Okay, basically now you see how 4K looks now. Initially I had the height looking like this in 2K, but when I came to 4K I could see the change was drastic. But if I zoom out, now you can see the light affecting the texture. Basically when you're painting in Photoshop or whatever, as soon as you start painting your highlights, that's what you use to define your texture of the character. If you paint a streak, then it makes it look like plastic, and if you show some differences, it gives them more of more of a texture. Basically, yeah, I was trying to think of a different word than texture, but yeah, more of a texture. Okay. So basically that's it. Like, this is where I put a skin texture. I do the same thing, but this time I put a paint. Why did I put paint on this one? Yeah, pause. Usually when I put paint, it means I was painting something out. Oh wait, I know why. This was the one, yeah. Okay, this one has a paint on it, but the paint layer is not doing anything. If you want to hide it, you don't see it. That's because I was experimenting with something initially, and I forgot to delete the paint, so I can delete the paint on this one. But I feel like I might be doing something different. Okay, let me activate my UVs so I can see whether it's changing something. Why did I put this paint layer? Yeah. Oh wait, actually I remember now. Yeah, I put this paint layer so that it removes the texture that was going on the ball. Yeah, I remember. Very good. Sometimes you even forget how I put some stuff. Even when I use a paint layer, I put it under a fill layer because you get a global change. And for this fill layer, it has no color. It's just a height map. And as you can see, the height is 0.01. If I were to put a color on this one, this height to look like, but that's not what we want. So yeah. So basically I duplicated this layer, but I switched. Oh wait, actually I didn't talk about the noise I used. I used a pellet noise here, and I tweaked the parameters. I put a scale on 64 and I tweaked the disorder a little bit, and I put the paint on it. But this was because of the specific skin texture I was going for. If we're going for a different skin texture, pellet noise might not be the best. And as I said earlier, I used triplanar projection, because if I use UV projection, you see seams. This one you might not see it because I've done so many stuff on top of it, but it might be too little for you guys to see right now because that other noise is piled up on top of it. Okay, if I turn off this one, now you might not see it, but oh well. Let's go back to triplanar. Okay, after that I duplicate, but this time I use a different noise. I use the anisotropic noise, where it's basically like lines, but I tweak the parameters. I put an X mount on very low, but this noise was not to go everywhere. This noise is very small. It was to go on the arms. Like, you see the little switch here, you might not see it that much because it's very little, but that's because the height is on 0.01. I think, yeah, it's on 0.01. I could go a little bit higher, but when I go to 4K, it pops out more. That's why I left on 0.01. And for this one, the way I created this, but this is how the mask actually looks like. But the reason the mask looks like this is because I have a mask here. Well, initially it was affecting everywhere. But I create a mask by creating another fill layer, and I use the thickness map as the mask, so it affects only the part where I want it to affect, basically. And I added a paint layer. This paint layer was for if I wanted to add, if I wanted to change some stuff, like if I wanted to paint out like affecting the arm. Basically, at first I changed it from the face. I used it to change this part, but if I wanted to change, like add more, I could paint out this, and it won't affect that part. But that's not what I want to do right now. Also, if let's say I want to paint, let's say I paint black, right? I remove this from the arm. If I paint white, you can see we lose the texture too. So the way to fix that is by switching your paint layer from normal to overlay. Overlay might not work for this one. Which one was it? Whoops. Is it linear dodge? Sometimes, yeah. I forgot because I was experimenting so much on this one. let's see. Let's put black. Oh wait, I'm not actually painting. I just realized that. Why am I not painting? Wait. Okay, normal. Multiply. Let's put on white. Okay. Oh, okay, I know why. It might be because, yeah, this one's on linear dodge, so it's affecting it differently. But yeah, but basically, because I put on multiply now. When I paint back, when I delete something with the paint, and I paint it back, I actually get a detail back instead of losing it entirely. Now you can also use linear dodge where it to be an additive, but then you lose your details. So yeah. So I'm just going to leave this on normal, and I'm just going to Command Z. Yeah, and I have it on the face too. So if I had to zoom out on the face, you see the texture difference, but it's very small. But let's move on. After I create a fill layer again, this one has a color on it. Why does this one have color on it? Usually I don't put color on my fill layers. Oh, okay, I know why. This is the one. This one is why I used to give the belly a different color. Like for some animals, their underbelly tends to be a different color. Like if you think about snakes or colors, I mean not colors. Animals that are usually on their walk on fours. Most of the time, the underbellies are different color because either fur will be different color or the skin itself. Most of the time, it's because light affects differently, but also it's a natural way that they are usually born, depending on animal. And so I just used a 3D distance generator and tweak the parameters so that it affects only this part. It's basically a nice way of getting a gradient, but I tweaked this so that it affects only the stomach, and then it gives me this nice texture in the belly of the character, and it is very good for variation. Like if I do this right now, the character looks uniform, but as soon as I add that, it just adds mine. I put it on color dodge. If I put it on normal, this is how it looks like. Normal even still works because it blends in nicely with the back. I might keep it on normal because it makes the purples also show through. So I'll keep it on normal. I'll try. See, sometimes some things look different when you just come back to them. And for the next one was this one. This one I actually did a lot of experimentation, even though I don't like how it came out. I was trying to recreate the pose that I have on the character, but instead of using, I wanted to use substance to generate it. So I started with a tile generator. If I turn off everything here, I started with tile generator, tweaked it a lot with the paraboloid as the shape. I can find it. Oh, that's not the wrong one. Okay, there we go. I used a paraboloid and I took the settings a lot to get to here, and then I went over, added a fill layer that had the world space normal on it. That gave me this. I just put a world space normal on it, but no settings were changed. And I added the levels on top of the world space normal to get this. This one might not be, the levels might not be that important, but I used to push the darker values a little bit. Then I came in with the final, which is the paint. The paint I used to basically paint out the parts I didn't want. And then this is what we get. And because I put a color on this one, I got it to affect this a little bit. But this one, the height is a little bit too low. And that's on 1 actually. Let's try 1.5. Because I've seen it on the final and it still looks too low. Wait, what? Oh, I was taking the wrong thing. Okay. That's okay, some 0.5, so let's put on 1 then. Whoa, okay, now you see when I put on 1, that's what I get. That's too much in my opinion. So 0.0, oh, not 0.0, but 0.7. No, 0.5 again. Wait, what? That was 0.05, I guess. That was 0.05, so 0.1. Okay, let's try 0.2. Okay, I just wanted to show a little bit, not too much. And the paint layer is also making an affect some of the pores back here, so that might be an issue. But I just wanted to give some random bumps to the skin to show that the skin is not perfect for this character. And then the rest is just easy stuff where it's just added a emissive to the bulb, duplicate that layer because I wanted another emissive, but this one was the one I used for tattoos. Actually, let me just rename it. these tattoos were an experiment, so I didn't create like a new alpha for this character alone. I created my alphas in Photoshop for a different project, and I have them. Oh, it's not on this PC. It's on my other PM. It's on my laptop. So yeah, I'll just have to transfer the folder onto my flash drive and bring it here. Basically, I create my own alphas and then import them. But the alpha is like, it's different. I just combine the shapes multiple times by scaling them and reducing them. But let me show you. It's just an emissive with black mask, and I paint the alphas on it. So let's say this was the alpha I used, right? You press and hold Control. Left click will give you left click, and you move left and right will tweak the opacity. Right click left and right to increase the scale. Left click up and down will rotate it. So I just basically keep on tweaking the size and the rotation, and I use it to create different shapes. So let's say I put this here. Wait. Then I'll just reduce the size. Then as I paint it like this, then I can just rotate it a little bit. So basically I'm abusing the same mask, but I'm using it to make it look as if I mean, I'm using the same alpha, but making it look as if I use different alphas. Although sometimes you can still tell though, but yeah, basically that's what I did. It's like these are just 3 alphas I used. Actually 4, if I remember. Yeah, it's 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4. Wait, what? 1, 2. Yeah, 4. Sorry about that. I used 4 alphas and I just kept on rotating and scaling them until they gave me these shapes. And it was an experiment, so it doesn't matter that much. And because it's an emissive, you won't see some of the textures through it. Emissive tends to just take over everything. And you don't have to put emissive on your tattoos. I just wanted this character to be an emissive character because the other theme was Anglerfish, where it lives in a very dark area, so it uses the light to attract its prey. And one way was to put its tattoo on the character. And for this one is not important to some people, but I find it very important. If you look at your roughness right now, it looks plain. So when I'm rotating around the lights and other stuff, you know, everything goes through nicely. But I put this one, it's basically a noise map. I put moisture noise for this one, tweak the parameters, and this is how it looks like. But this is how it actually looks like if I were to go to the roughness. It has a less roughness than the other one. So let's say I had to tweak this one. So let's try and put it on a overlay, and let's see what that overlay will do. Oh, whoops. It doesn't change much because I'm just using roughness. But basically now I get the difference in lighting affecting it. You might not see the difference that much, but let's say I'm trying to see, like you can see how the light affects it is different now. And it better works for like materials. Like let's say you have wood. If you have the same roughness on the wood across, it doesn't give a good look in my opinion. And you can use it to also fake like fingerprints, like something that has been held a lot. Usually the roughness changes at the part which has been held, so it gives it like those oily stains. So when the light is going across, it just gives it a little bit of a texture. I don't know if I'm explaining myself properly, but yeah. But basically we are done with the major part. So that's how I actually went about with this character. This is not like the best way to texture a character in my opinion. There's like better ways, and you could watch different tutorials. I just want to share my my workflow. So if I change the color to a green color, it is one reason I like working this way, because I can go back and change colors and still have my textures. So if I wanted a green character, I'll just change this, and I'll just have changed the other colors that are not being affected, which would be like the SS and the skin patches and all that stuff. But basically, yeah. But I'll keep the blue for this one. The rest of it is quite simple. I didn't do anything important because I didn't care about those ones, which would be the tongue. I just took a fill layer, slapped it there, and then took another fill layer on top, but put a noise, a dripping dust on this fill layer, and tweaked it a little bit just to give the tongue a little bit of this. If I wanted to go into details, I would have put like noise on it and giving it height so that the tongue looks like it has texture, but I didn't care about the tongue for this character. And the eyes I kind of had to play around with a little bit, because I started with this color. If it was show, oh, I used the wrong one. Okay, I started with this color. Like, my colors are not updating, so like you can see them. But yeah, I use this greenish color. Put dirt on it. Had to tweak it just so that the dirt shows up, so the color doesn't affect everywhere. And then I put it's because the base color itself is red. Is this red then? And I put this on top of it. This was me. I didn't care about the ice. I just wanted to put something there but I didn't want to just slap one color there. I wanted to look interesting, so I just created this. And then I put an eye. I use an alpha to just stamp the eye there. And I use symmetry mode. If I can find the alpha, it's just like a circle alpha, but it has a squeeze on it. Should be around here if my things will load fast enough. Like, I didn't even know it existed in Substance until I was working on this character, so like I was literally looking for. Oh, also one way of adding skin details, you can use these brushes over here to add some nice skin details. Huh, that's actually a skin frog. I didn't even know that. So you could use, I could have used this one too, but I was trying to generate everything with generators. So yeah, I could have painted some stuff with this, but painting in Substance Painter is not the best thing. Okay, yeah, this is it. The shape circle. Yeah, this was the one I used, but I squeezed it a little bit more just to give this this shape, and I put it there. Yeah. So that will be this character breakdown. I hope this video wasn't as long as the first one. Actually, it shouldn't be, because the first one actually took a lot of time experimenting and stuff.